go right into the game.
Let's spectate some match. Challenger is going to be on the bottom side, and of course that's Skylar from Canada. Sunsfan on the north, or top.
The north.
The north.
It's from the north. And we got the, what is this on? Oh, he's got a shirt now. Skylar wants to show us the winner chicken dinner shirt. He's confident.
Okay.
He's going to get that first place.
Well, we sent our strongest champion up, so
all right.
good luck.
Good luck. But Skylar's gone with the green and black Econ ramp deck that we have seen the full power of with the Horn of Alphas. And
or no Horn of the Alphas.
Or no Horn of the Alphas. And Sunsfan's got a red and green deck.
Yeah, and a very unlucky start here for Sunsfan. The Lycanthrope, generally a very good hero to give you that edge as you go along, but got picked off immediately by the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah.
I understand my orders.
And on the opposing side, Skylar has already seen the value of Lycan there with that melee creep next to Lycan.
Yep.
Taking advantage of that passive and getting that extra 2 attack, and now it makes that melee creep a super creep killer.
I know the flop is somewhat RNG dependent, and we showcase it here where for Sunsfan's case, he had no creeps, so you just get no benefit of the Lycan ability, whereas for Challenger, he got at least 1 creep. And when you have creeps next to your Lycan, you automatically eat their creep as well. So it's a pretty big swing.
Eat them?
Eat them for breakfast.
All right, so we now see our Challenger is devoting 2 black heroes into the second lane.
Okay.
So looks like a pretty, do you agree with kind of like having both your heroes of the same color in one lane if you only have 2 of them in your deck?
I don't think you generally want to do it because it really constricts your mana on the other lanes. For example, right now, he has Pickoff and Payday as potential cards he wants to cast. But I think if you look at the content of a Challenger's hand, this is one of the perfect time to do so because honestly, you're not casting that Payday anyways. So the only available black card is the Pickoff, and you don't need 2 heroes in different lane to cast Pickoff. So yeah, I think in this case is perfectly fine.
Yeah. And who would be a good Pickoff target that our Challenger might be looking at here? Because Pickoff, as you can see with those arrows around that 4 mana cost, can be cast into any lane.
Yes. And I do think that it feels like a waste, but I do think it's good to pick off these creeps.
Yes.
Again, the red deck, okay, or this one. This is a much more aggressive play.
Oh, but as you can see, this is the
Prowler Vanguard.
Happens. Yeah, when you have the first turn, you're thinking about using that pick-off card, but Sunsfan might have an answer and put another creep in front of it.
Sure.
So.
But I like the aggressive move because if the creep did not come down, that tower would have been at 5 health.
Yes.
It's just like
that's
great way to use your resource, and I think that's also the reason why he doubled up by putting the 2 black here on the mid lane.
Totally. Now that that Prowler creep is also getting pretty low. Oh.
Yep. Okay.
So this is where armor
Yes.
becomes a big factor. You may see that that Legionnaire has 2 health, but it has 2 armor, and that Wolf is only doing 3 attack. So in the end, that Bronze Legionnaire is only taking 1 damage to their health pool.
Bronze Legionnaire, in my opinion, one of the best creep in the entirety of the game so far. So
that 2 armor just makes it invulnerable to any of the normal creeps.
Yep.
And it kills a normal creep in 1 fell swoop.
So we are in the deployment phase, and notice how Sunsfan is going to put Lycan on the left side. This guarantees a kill against Rix because that's the only spot that Lycan can land into, which is in front of the Rix. And of course, it's going to bolster the rest of his army as well. So it's looking pretty good. And going back to the question that you asked 1 turn earlier, Sunsfan's now doubling up his red hero on the last lane.
Yes. He also has an extra red hero here, so that still allows him to cast cards, but unfortunately in his hand right now, he doesn't have any red cards other than that 6 mana Ogre Conscript.
Ooh.
So
there is a Salamane's
favor.
Yeah. So he had 2 options to throw the Salamane's favor. One option is the middle lane, and one option is the far right. The middle lane gives them the opportunity to cast Divine Purpose, but looks like he favors casting the Ogre Conscript on the far right instead.
Yes, and I think that's a great choice. Divine Purpose, I think is not, it's a kind of an underwhelming card if you cast it as soon as possible, right? I feel like maybe once you've established a lane or a hero, it might be worth casting, but, you know.
I think it depends.
It depends.
as per usual with artifact questions.
It's true.
You know, if you Divine Purpose a creep, let's say this one, the Prowler Vanguard, what is this green-black deck able to do against that? I guess Chen stealing it is the only answer, but that's 2 more turns away.
Yep. That's true. Divine Purposing a creep is actually a pretty good play against this deck. There's
Yes.
no tools the black and green deck has available in order to destroy a creep.
Yeah, it's almost actually better than Divine Purposing and Hero because this deck has coup de grace.
That's right. And coup de grace can only get rid of heroes, not creeps.
I'm coming up nicknames already for these creeps.
Yeah?
You want to hear one for
Sure, sure.
Prowler Vanguard? He's the White Knight.
The White Knight.
0 attack, 8 health, just tanking out all the haters, you know?
All the haters go to him. And he, on top of that, he's giving armor to fellow creeps. You know, Milady to the left, Milady
exactly.
to the right.
This is the perfect White Knight creep. Prowler Vanguard.
I'll take care of it.
Okay. Creep comes down, is going to block that 6 damage to the face and also pressure the PA a little bit.
Yep. This tower is looking pretty low for Sunsfan. It's getting to 12 health now. Out of all of his towers, it's the most threatened. So he's trying to look to block some damage. And with that green-red deck, you have a lot of creeps at your disposal. So you're not too scared to keep placing some creeps now if that saves you a turn.
We travel with precious cargo.
We see that Revtail come up. It's blocking Axe now, but thanks to that Salamane's favor that he had played from the first lane, Sunsfan is now able to cast a 6-mana card into what was a 5-mana turn.
Yep.
And that Ogre Conscript's going to do 7 damage to the tower, and our challenger's at 15 health in that last lane.
In terms of the two decks matching up against each other, I think Sunsfan's draw is excellent against the Challenger's deck. With the Econ ramp, you generally want the game to be relatively slow so you could accrue some gold, trade a ton of hero kills, and then overwhelm them with the paydays. But I don't think our Challenger actually has the time. If you look at the board, first lane is in shambles with everyone punching in. He's lost half his health. That last lane, very similar situation, especially with the 8 mana on the last lane as well. So I think this game might end in a turn or two if there's not any significant plays coming out from our Challenger.
Yeah, I think so as well, especially with that that second lane is still looking like Sunsfan's defending it pretty well as well. He has a hero there. He's looking to block with creeps. He has another Savage Wolf coming up, so we might not even see that mid-tower pop for our Challenger this turn.
I think the biggest problem here for a Challenger is the deployment of 3 heroes into the middle lane. And I know I'm joking about the White Knight creep, but that White Knight creep saved 2 turns of damage.
An effective White Knight.
Yeah, it blocked Debbie's damage output by quite a bit.
And Debbie had to hit that White Knight twice.
Yep.
Looking here now, we have PA dying to just a lowly creep.
Yes. And the Blade of the Visual could even come down and pressure Chen even further as well. A great turn to kill Chen is the turn right before he could activate his ability.
Yes.
Take him out of for 2 turns.
Yeah. Especially since if Chen dies, he can maybe think about going into that last lane to steal that Ogre Conscript.
Okay, so Sunsfan actively chooses not to kill Chen. And I think the logic is, look, I'm going to lose my tower already. I want to strand Chen here for 1 more turn. I don't want the Challenger to have the ability to move Chen back to the fountain and deploy him into a different lane. So getting hero kills is not the end-all be-all. Sometimes you want to strand heroes.
That's right, and it looks like going to put a Savage Wolf down for our Challenger to save some damage off his Revtail.
Yep. The duel's going to come out, and Lycan's going to go down.
That duel card has to be cast on a red hero, so he uses Axe right there, and just so everyone knows, as a kind of general rule with red cards in general, they're kind of using their health and their attack to remove, right? As in opposition, we have the black heroes who are more like assassinators. They have like coup de grace that doesn't expend their health because they have low health to begin with. So things like duel, Berserker's Call are all taking from their health pool as they use it.
Okay, Teleport Scroll is a great item here.
That's huge here for
a Challenger. Again, I mentioned about stranding heroes or not, but he goes for the Book of the Dead, which unfortunately I think might be a bit too late. First tower is going to pop right now, and the last lane is looking pretty bad as well. But he will deploy the Rixir and try his best to hold. Now, generally putting units in front of red heroes is the perfect solution. But these 2 heroes, these 2 red heroes in particular, have access into cards like Berserker's Call as well as Duel, so they have ways to get around that.
Yeah, that's right, and I believe, let's see if that last lane. Unfortunately, in Sunsfan's hand right now, he doesn't have too many red cards at his, to use.
Potion of Knowledge is going to get that Duel, so that is going to open up the blocking path. And It is looking really rough for our challenger.
And just another Celamene's favor, because why not?
Why not?
So the tower's going to go down for our challenger in the first lane. And remember, the win condition for Artifact is to take down 2 towers.
Yep.
Whether that be 2 towers from 2 different lanes or the tower and then the Ancient behind it.
Let's get a Divine Purpose out here.
Let's see, is there anything? Oh. Here's what our challenger can do.
Okay.
He can pass and then gain initiative for the next lane and then Hand of God.
Yes, that is the only way to survive, but...
Oh, but he's played a card.
Yep, and now I believe Sunsfan will just pass immediately back. He understands he has initiative, so all he has to do is kill Rix and equip that Claymore, and that will be victory.
Yep, and he doesn't really care what happens to this lane.
Yep.
It's already popped for Sunsfan, so he can, you know, let Farvin die.
Yep.
And unfortunately, our challenger doesn't have initiative now, and Sunsfan, since he goes first, he's going to go ahead and duel and open up a space for one of his heroes to attack.
Yeah, and once you duel the Rix, your entire beautiful hand of cards is locked out because you don't have a green hero anymore, and that should be an easy win with the Claymore equip.
Yep, with that Claymore. Yep,
that's it.
That's it. So let's talk about if our challenger had instead just passed, didn't do anything in that lane. He would then have been able to cast Hand of God, 7 mana, and all of his heroes would have been immune. So even if Sunsfan had dueled, there's nothing that Sunsfan could have done.
Damage immune, yeah, so...
But yeah, still, let's give it up for Skylar. That was still a great game.